Pouring water over, boil water, because we're going to boil the meat so that we can get rid of all the impurities, like the blood. So as the kettle full, I'm going to boil another kettle and pour it in. And we only boil for about 15 minutes, just until you can see the impurities floating to the top. Okay, so just dicing onions, slicing them should I say, not dicing. And I'm using 4 small red onions, but ideally you just need 1 large one. You just need to separate them like that, because we're just going to use them to layer. Okay, so we're just going to now put in our chopped garlic. We're just going to crush it. And it takes a little while, but once it's done, we can add it straight to the onions. Okay, so all I've got is some greaseproof paper, and we're just going to just some low packed bread bowl. We're just going to put some just fat on so that it doesn't stick. Don't need loads of it, just enough to create that layer. Okay, so now we add the oil. I'm going to use four spoons. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I might add one more because I'm using that much meat, and I'm going to add veg later. So I'm going to add 5 in, and that looks about right to me. Okay, so we're now I'm going to put the gas on, just on low gas to start with, low flame. And all I'm going to do is low gas. I'm going to put the onions in, and then I'm going to turn the flame all the way up, because what we want to do is we want to sweat the onions but cook them right through so that they're actually brown, not just sweated. I use 5 large white onions, 5 large onions. So I'm going to put the lid on, check it regularly, and just give it a good stir. Just going to check the onions. Just let it go burn and stick. It's fine. Gas back up, lid back on. I'm going to check the onions. They have been on the gas for about 10 minutes. They should be browning nicely now. And they are. I'm just going to give a quick look, make sure they look thick, because at this point they'll start to stick. So you now have a look, it's starting to brown, sweating nicely. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the gas off, and leave the gas on medium, and just let them brown through now. Okay, so the onions are doing very well. At this point you kind of need to just turn the gas up, and just every minute or so keep stirring, because you don't want them to stick. But you want them to kind of be like that dark brown. So another 5 minutes on high flame, and just stirring every minute or so. Okay, so this is roughly how brown you want the onions. You could do it another minute or two, but I think we're going to add in, some are quite brown like that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to add in the garlic. This is 2 whole cloves of garlic, crushed. Okay, so this is sort of what the onions and garlic should look like. It's going to turn the gas low. Just as you add the tomatoes, so you see the garlic softened. Because it's a tomatoey base, you could just add 10 fresh tomatoes, but we've got 3 fresh tomatoes here, and we like to mix it up. And then we've got a whole jar or tin or carton of passata. And then we like to add some tomato jars because they bring their own flavour as well. So today we're using the Lloyd Grossman tomato and sweet red pepper, but in all honesty you could use any red tomato red sort of sauce. And we're using 2 of these. Okay, so the next step is to add in our garam masala, our basar, and then our salt. So we just tip it in and we stir. Now ordinarily when you add your masala, you've got to add a bit of water. The powders dry the curry up. But there's already lots of water in here, so I'm not going to add in water unless I feel like you need it. So the way I'm making our desi lasagna is almost like a minced curry with lots of added extras. Hence why I put the garam masala in it. It's going to have a real kick to it. So it's been on the gas for 10 minutes on high flame. I'm going to give it another 2-3 for the masala and the salt to just really get mixed in. And then we're going to add the meat, because the meat's been on low gas now for another 10 minutes. And we give the meat about 5 minutes on a high flame to just really take in the red sauce and the flavours. Okay, so these are ready to cook. Garden peas, carrot batons, and green peas and sweet corn. So we're just going to add them in to the mix. Okay, so I'm going to add a glass of cold water to the mix just because it is a little bit too dry. So what you don't want is, you don't really want it like this. It just has to be a little bit more fluid. So I'm going to add, it is just a glass of water, cold water. And I'm not going to boil this water off. All I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a minute on low gas, literally a minute, just for it to sort of settle. And really what you want is, you want it a bit like this. So I'm going to give it a minute, just so it's a bit more fluid. Okay, so it's starting to spit water, you can see, but then when it starts to spit oil, then I know that it's completely done. So again, you got to, I treat it just like a curry. So I'm going to give it, it has been a minute on the gas, I'm just going to give it another minute and then it will be done. It will start to spit oil in a minute. Okay, so can you see now that actually spitting more oil, the oil's risen and it's spitting oil at the top, can you see? So I know now that it's ready to come off. So we're just going to layer up, and of course you need to start with the meat. Just spread it out. I tend to just put a little bit of mozzarella on the side because I find that it stops the lasagna and the cheese just from sticking. and there's nothing wrong with a bit of extra cheese in your lasagna, is there? Okay, so that's our base layer. And then all I'm going to do is we're going to put on our lasagna sheets. Okay, just layer on our lasagna sheets like that. And then we are going to add the white lasagna sauce. Okay, so just before you actually start to layer, you might want to taste the mince. So we just did, and ours was perfect. Just a little bit salty, but all that means is we are not going to add any more salt to, or even pepper, because it's got enough of a kick. It's got plenty of chili in, plenty of salt in, and it's perfect. So all we're doing is making sure we cover the sheets, especially the top ones, because the sauce helps it to bake, and you don't want that crispy taste when you bite in. It is a lot. We don't scrimp and we don't count calories in this house. That's ready for the oven. So you could add a cheddar or parmesan, whatever else you wanted, I imagine, but we like it just with mozzarella. Okay, so we got 2 trays out of 2.5 pounds of meat. Each tray will give us 12 slices, so that's 24 slices.